Welcome to the 2017-2018 NBA preview. Today we are covering the 4th ranked team in the preview, the Boston Celtics. My name is Josh, your enviers, and like usual, the series is inspired by Grantland, and also like usual, this series is based off of regular season wins. And because of that, the Boston Celtics, in my opinion, will be the #1 seed again this season. Last season they won 53 games. This season I could see them winning 53 to possibly even 55 games. Last season the Boston Celtics proved that they're an amazing regular season team. This season they have Kyrie Irving now. And to be totally honest, I would have had the Celtics above the Cavaliers no matter if Kyrie Irving was on the Cavaliers or if he was on the Celtics. This is once again based off of regular season. I really want people to understand this concept because I say it in every video. They don't get it. Shout out to the people that do get it. I really appreciate you because not everyone can be as amazing as you. One thing that worries me about this Celtics team is the defense. Last season, they had Isaiah Thomas who brought the scoring, Avery Bradley who brought the defense and scoring as well, and Jay Crowder who was a nice defensive swingman that could play shooting guard, small forward, power forward. They were a nice, cohesive defensive team. This season, their starting lineup doesn't look that defensively compared to last season, and since it's the first year where all these players are together, it's gonna worry me. Can they keep the first seed? That's probably their biggest problem the Celtics have. Scoring's gonna come. They have Kyrie Irving. If Isaiah Thomas was able to do that in Boston, Kyrie Irving is going to be able to do that plus a little bit more with the Celtics this season. So with that said, let's take a look at the offseason moves that the Boston Celtics were able to acquire.
So here's what they acquired. They acquired Kyrie Irving, Gordon Hayward, Marcus Morris, Aaron Baines, and a whole bunch of rookies from previous drafts that are finally going to be playing for the Celtics team. What they lost? A whole lot more players than I can actually fit on this infographic, so we're just going to name the important ones here. Isaiah Thomas, Avery Bradley, Jay Crowder, all a part, well, except for Avery Bradley, a part of that Cleveland Cavaliers trade. Amir Johnson, Kelly Olynyk, and a whole bunch of other rotation players that did well when they got minutes for this Celtics team. Looking at what they drafted, this team, man, this is the most filled graphic that I had to do, most likely. Jason Tatum with the 3rd, Semi with the 37th, Allen with the 53rd, Jabari Bird with the 56th. I remember Jabari Bird's name from like previous years. He was supposed to be like a top recruit coming into high school or something along those lines. I don't know. I don't know why I remember his name so much, but 56th pick. Maybe he could show out and be a steal of the draft. But this team has a lot of rookies. It's kind of scary, but at least their starting 5, or the projected starting 5 to start the season, is one of the best starting 5s in the Eastern Conference. So let's take a look at the projected starting 5 with Al Horford, Marcus Morris, Gordon Hayward, Marcus Smart, and Kyrie Irving. That is a solid starting 5, especially with Marcus saying that he's an improved shooter. He showed out that he could shoot the ball more efficiently from the 3-point line. He's a great defender. And without Avery Bradley and Jay Crowder in that starting lineup, someone has to play defense and help Kyrie Irving, just like Avery Bradley helped Isaiah Thomas. Kyrie Irving and Marcus Smart, I feel like that's an amazing combo to start the season. And then gradually, as the season progresses, I'm assuming one of these guys in that starting 5 is going to lose their starting spot, whether it's Marcus Smart or Marcus Morris, to have a young guy like Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum start. Because the Celtics are banking on these young guys, so might as well throw them into the fire and see what they do. Most likely starting the season, both Brown and Tatum will be on the bench along with Aaron Baines, a whole bunch of rookies, and Terry Rozier.
So my question for the Boston Celtics is, who's going to be playing defense, and are the young guys going to step up? I feel like this team is extremely young compared to how they were last year. I know Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum are expected to have big years, but are they great defenders?
Like I said, the offense is going to come. They don't have to worry about getting buckets. It's the defense you have to worry about because that starting 5, Marcus Smart looks to be the best defender out of the bunch. And you need to start Marcus Smart. It's a good thing that he's been practicing his jumper because he might be the X factor for this Boston Celtics team to win as many games as they do. Looking at the rotation a few moments ago, it made me realize this team is really young. They're kind of like the Toronto Raptors. They have a very young bench and a solid starting 5. Looking at the Cavs rotation, they have a solid starting 5 and a very old bench. So is it better to have a super old bench like the Cleveland Cavaliers do, or is it better to be like the Toronto Raptors or the Boston Celtics, where they have a good starting five but then also have a very young bench? I guess we'll have to wait and see, but definitely these are some of the top 3 teams in the Eastern Conference that are all going to be competing with each other. The young guys have to step up, along with the starters having to play defense, especially Gordon Hayward. Now, I wasn't really paying attention to the Utah Jazz last season defensively, but I did pay attention to that time that Kobe retired and dropped 60 points on the Utah Jazz. If people clown Jalen Rose for getting dropped by 81 points from Kobe Bryant, I'm going to be clowning Gordon Hayward for getting dropped 60 on him. I know Gordon Hayward wasn't guarding Kobe the entire game. Jalen Rose probably wasn't guarding Kobe the entire game. So, see what I'm trying to get at? People need to stop being so selective on what they choose to be upset about. Whole starting five needs to step it up. But I like this team, and I feel like they're going to be atop of the Eastern Conference. Anyways, let's talk about the Kyrie Irving trade before we end this episode off real quick. Who won between the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Kyrie Irving trade? I said in my last video, the Cavs won for the future with that 2018 Brooklyn Nets draft pick, along with the flexibility of not having to re-sign Isaiah Thomas, while they also remained one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference simply due to the fact that they have LeBron James, and the pieces they got back for Kyrie were very acceptable. It was a good overall trade for the Cleveland Cavaliers, and it was an okay trade for the Boston Celtics. The Boston Celtics won the right now trade, but for the future aspect of this trade, Kyrie Irving has 2 years on his deal. He doesn't necessarily have to re-sign, even though if he's expressed that he's like Boston, it's way too early to tell if he's going to want to go somewhere else and get a max contract for a different team. But they definitely won the now, in the now moment. As for the future, it all really depends on Kyrie Irving if he stays with the Celtics long term, because he's all they got. And we just have to keep an eye out on that 2018 Brooklyn Nets pick to see how well that said player pans out for the Cleveland Cavaliers or any other team that gets a hold of that asset. But let me know in the comment section what you guys feel about the Kyrie Irving trade, along with the question I asked about who steps up and plays defense and the young guys.
So with that said, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like on it. I greatly appreciate it. Keep being amazing. Keep sharing the videos around.
Before you go, check out some of these other videos on screen right now featuring the NBA previews past episodes. The link is in the description for the NBA preview playlist in case you want to watch the rest of the series, along with my Twitter. Follow me on Twitter at @Enviers if you want to chat it up about the preview or anything basketball related. I'll talk to you guys in the next one.